Okay, what the mission today? This is ZA6YI. Okay, cut that off. Yeah, very good morning to you there, Ed. I see you're on. Good afternoon to all in the UK. And of course, good evening to those that might be listening further afield. Yeah, I tell you, Murphy's been really running around this shack for the last couple of weeks. But anyway, it's sort of going, and I had to restream. So, for whatever reason, I don't find it now, so I'll have to go and check on YouTube. I haven't had time to go and redo it, but it's working. It's come on automatically, so those that follow us will be on. Otherwise, we won't have. Anyway, let's see if I can pull up the... everything's new here today. Let's see. I can bring up the list. This morning I couldn't get the LMB to work. So a second one went on, and I just couldn't get anything going. Anyway, I then took one without an RF oscillator onto it, and had to readjust things. And then old Uwan came up. He saw me on. That's ZS1 SCI, and he came up and he said, "Let me help you on the ride." And so we changed the offset frequency on the ride, and then that worked. And then he said, well, while I've got you, let's re-put his DATV Red on. So I said, well, let's do it. And it's working very well by the looks of it. And it's the latest version that is put on, so I'm very thankful to Owan for his help today. Much easier to run that, to be honest. So all good. Anyway, what else? Next week, I just want to make it quite known, I won't be available to be on the net. I'm going down to a place called Sandstone. It's a big sort of military parade thing. Not necessarily just the military, but they will be there. And I've got a whole bunch of radio hams down there. In fact, the parade leader is Dennis Green, ZS4 Bravo Sierra. But I'm taking a friend of mine down. We're flying down with a helicopter. I'm taking little Leslie, my grandson, and General Pierre Steyn. He was the head of the Air Force at one stage, and he became our Secretary of Defense 2 years under Mr. de Klerk and 2 years under Mandela. And then he retired. But anyway, so Pierre's coming with me. And we do not know what time we'll be back on Sunday. So I don't think I'll make the net. I was going to actually ask you if it's possible, Ed, if you could maybe run the net next Sunday. I did ask Martin, but Martin's rather tied up. And so he did come back to me. He said, Ella, you won't be able to make it. And he's also got big internet problems as well to stream. Anyway, I'll send you a WhatsApp, or we'll have a chat on WhatsApp a bit later, if possible, Ed. Right, so let's see. Bert, will you take it, sir? Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta, to please take it. Now, I must just get my own story right here. It's a bit foreign today again. From ZA6 Yankee India. Again, from ZA6.
Yes. There is some video. And it would be nice if audio. There is some video. Yeah. I got some issues with the audio. I don't know what it is, but in a moment I can hear myself back, so there is some audio. Okay, good afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you are on this beautiful globe. When you presented the list, Gary, your audio was gone, eh? So there was no audio during your list. Let's see. I've been busy with my Oscar 100 station. Not only there's this is the camera. Not just the narrowband, also the wideband. I have made a small photo. I will put my camera and will point it to a display. Let's see. Yeah, it's not the best way to do it, but not only on a moment. In my garden house, or garden shed, whatever you want to call it, it was on the corner free, and I put in a 10-inch cabinet. So in that 10-inch cabinet, there are all kind of modules. Just the power supply over here. I can hope you can see that all. There's a power supply. I got a distribution unit, I call it. That's the wideband and narrowband is coming in, and that's split into parts. One goes then to the Libre SDR for the narrowband, and the other one goes to the windmill. One up. There are some connections left for cables to the house, so I can see it also in my check if necessary, just in the small splitter. And the other one above, there's a GPSDO with a sync SDR, a special module, a narrowband amplifier. We have then we have a LAN switch because everything is coupled by LAN. Other thing we have over here is then the Pluto, the windmill SDR over here, the receiver for 4 channels, and this is the control unit, coax relay, some other relays, and this is the big power amplifier I'm using at the moment for the wideband. Everything is controlled by internet, so I can be any place on the world. I can make contacts with this equipment if necessary. Everything is controlled by a web page. All the relays and all things is coupled, and that's all done by this web page, and that's all in this module. It seems to be working at the moment. I hope it will continue working, but that's I've been busy with the last couple of weeks, and also some other project I can show you maybe the next time, but I can give a preview about it. That's my new amplifier for 70 centimeters. This is the front with this only 500 watts. As you can see, the main hardware is done. Just a lot of cabling, just a lot of wiring has to be done. But I just started with some wiring. Just something on the 12 volts is connected, and for the rest, I have to make all the connections. That's what I'm busy in the moment. The weather over here is rather beautiful. The sun is shining. You can see part of the shed and the big dish. The dish is next to the shed, so it's only 5-meter cables I need. Okay, put the the camera back in position. Let's say that's it from me on the moment, Heaven. Let's go then to the other side of the world, to Ed, in Sao Paulo. Yankee 2, Radio Nancy, from the group of Alpha 3, Alpha Oscar Delta.
Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry for the problems. Greetings, everyone. Yeah, got some issues with OBS, and but it seems it's working now. Uh, okay. Hi, Gary. Nice to see you. Okay, about next Sunday. Yeah, sure. I'll be available, I'll be glad. Otherwise, I used to put the net control under autopilot because actually, what really helps is the list. So everyone is joining, just put the name on call sign on the list, and everything runs. Autopilot, not a problem. But if I'm here, if I'm available, of course, we can do that. And I hope you have a great time on the military parade. It seems going to be very fun. Your grandson gonna love it, I'm sure. Bert, glad to see you. Long time don't see you. Congratulations on your new setup. It seems that also you are in the new shack, new home. Looking fantastic. Your 10 inches rack. Where did you get a 10 inches rack? I mean, never saw that, but it looks beautiful. Congratulations. Very professional. Your professional amateur radio. Very nice, Bert. Really, really nice that rack with all the equipment. Very organized. Just love it. Very, very nice. I wish I could be close to that, but I'm very far. So I see Beno next, and Graham and Nick. And nice, gonna be nice to see all you guys. I actually I don't have too many activities on QO-100 lately. I'm mostly dedicating the time using Pluto SDR to make terrestrial QSOs on 1.2, 2.4, and 5.6 gigahertz. So playing with new antennas. I even made a kind of crazy antenna that's for helical antenna, supposedly to be omnidirectional. I have a combiner here. It depends on the way. I mean, if it's reception, it's a combiner. If a transmission, it's a splitter. But anyways, I've been testing that, and surprisingly, it worked fine. It gave me a good reception and a good transmission. I'm comparing this antenna with 25 elements Yagi, and tell you guys, I mean, the performance is very close. Obviously, the Yagi is a little better, of course, but this little Omni, semi-Omni, I would say, because bandwidth for each helix is about 70 degrees, so um, there's gonna be a blind spots, but anyways, it worked fine. It worked really fine. And that's it. All the activities going on that on 2.3 gigahertz using those barbecue style dish. And as well as for 5.6 gigahertz. So it's very nice. A couple of guys, like 2 or 3 guys making the tests, and nearby, around 30 kilometers max. And it's been very fun testing. Otherwise, some guys have those new ICOM IC 905. Someone is desperately sending me messages on WhatsApp. I don't know who it is, but hopefully it's nothing urgent. Um, Anyways, and I don't have any Icon IC 905, so I have just Pluto. Yeah, I think it's nothing urgent. And with the Pluto, the fraction of the cost, I can do everything that the new Icon IC 905 does, even better, because I can install LNAs and amplifiers, it's much better. Anyways, that's it. Sending back to the Netherlands with Benno, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-ray. I'm gonna leave with you, Benno. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, and this is the DATV Worldwide Net.
Hi guys, just in time, just back from work. Do I have a camera? Yes, I have, but I see I have some backlight. So I close that door. We have actually a lot of sun outside today, like Sunday, so that should be. And I had to work, unfortunately, but yeah. I'm not sure if my audio is okay. Anyway, yeah. Um, nice. Thanks, Gary, for leading that. I missed the first part. I actually tried to, on the journey home, I tried to run the YouTube, and I found that I couldn't use, well, I used the YouTube link, and I get you, and I get the next one, Peter, and and so I thought the net is going nicely, and then I came home, I switched everything on, and I saw Bert on, and I found out that I had the transmission link from last week apparently, and that's a problem with YouTube. I have always. You don't know. Well, you just switch on the link and you click on the link, and you probably you don't know actually which date you're streaming apparently. But that's my problem. Um, in the meantime, I settled down behind the shack, behind the cameras, and set up the Twitch, also a big screen, and the audio okay, so people can watch the net also there. And I actually did a small test, one channel lowered, just to find out that my audio was not working at all. But fixed that quickly, all in the time Ed was talking. Yeah, Ed, I'm using actually at the moment um, a um, a Pluto Plus for 70 centimeters and a fishbowl for 23 centimeters and two Plutos on the QO-100. So yeah, I am also a Pluto user. I saw actually someone also local with the 905 experimenting that on from his car, receiving various repeaters. And I said, yeah, but the digital signal is much stronger. And he said, yeah, but I don't have digital signal that possibility. DVB-S is not in there. Well, analog is not for me anymore. I don't like analog too much. That's the 905 is a no-go for me. And that saves a lot of money. I think it's over 3,500 euros here in the Netherlands, almost 4,000 euros, and I think that's a bloody hell of money, a lot of money for a black box which can't do everything I want, um, which is probably always too much anyway, too much asked. Um, yeah, well, for those um, who are watching yesterday the QO-100, they must have heard or seen my face occasionally. In Holland, we had the annual dag van the Day of the Radio Amateur, And I made a nice stand with my missus for DATV on behalf of the BATC, and I also had the BATC stuff with me, obviously. And I had a lot of nice conversations about DATV and how you are working and how it works and what you can do and what you can't do and what the benefits are and what the dislikes are. Well, we had a nice uh, uh, video. So I made some. I also made a nice uplink. Actually, the camera, which is on the right side on this picture on the dash, was streaming through internet, and on this laptop, which was in front of me, there was the local repeater, Papa India 3, Mike Echo Papa, was receiving that stream on internet, and then a local guy, Dion, grabbed that signal and pushed it to the QO-100. So you guys could see this picture, which was, well, more or less stable. Um, uh, I, I couldn't find any time, but you can see, well, some famous faces which visited our stand just here on the right, on the left side. Um, there's a famous face on the QO-100, and so we had a good signal, and yeah, we were just standing there, and there was something demonstration stuff. I couldn't find the time to walk around with my mobile phone. As you can see, it's quite mobile. It's just a handy, um, but I couldn't find the time to walk around. Unfortunately, so sorry for that. It was pretty stable and pretty, but at least we were visible and were part of our day at Rosmalen. So that is what I did yesterday, and I think that concludes most of the week I was working on. I am working, and that's good for Bert. I am working a lot on my local, on my antenna, on my home antenna. My mast is straight. At the moment, I have a vertical in there and a 4 element for 50 meters, and that is also something interesting for Ed if we would have 50 meters open. If we would have 50 megahertz, 60 meters open, I have a 4 elements pointing wherever I want to be, and I can run 100 watt on single side band. So it's a could be at the moment, but yeah, we need an open band for that. Ed, so if you find an open band, because I also found that from this location, I'm doing whisper on various bands, and I work North America quite a bit, and I work even Australia quite a bit, and in the Far East and everywhere where I get nice reports, but nothing from South Africa, and completely nothing from South America. So no Brazil or any other country. So it's like it's being blocked completely, despite my exit from here is completely open to the far southwest, I would say. Okay, let's switch off this. Do I have a camera? Somewhere along the line, I have a camera. There it is, a little bit dark on the top, but it works. Okay, so Bert, a very nice setup, and I am working a lot to get my antenna correctly working, and that should be giving me some possibilities in your direction. Eventually, I actually bought some extra cables, 100 meters of cables, just to get another 4 cables directly from the mast into my shack, um, in order to put some 23 and 13 and 2 meters and 70 cents on there. So that's the next goal, and I hope I can do it before it gets really cold, despite all the warnings from the weather guys in the near future. Okay, passing it on to, and I should have prepared that better. I have no clue who to pass it on, but I am looking quickly. Um, I know it is to England. Graham, G3 Victor Kilo Victor from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-ray. How's life? And actually, you pointed me something to raid V1 or V2, um, and I have played a little bit with that. Worked some guys, but I haven't heard much on the HF so far due to all the noise I have locally. But it's a nice mode, which might be one of my favorites because I don't like HF at all, just because of the noise which I cannot focus, and that's a thing of between my ears only. Uh, it's so noisy, so I don't like that. I have a large dislike. But if you use rate, um, then you solve a lot of that noise, obviously. But still, yeah, I need to get it organized that it works. But I have a very good opening to England, so maybe we can do a nice QSO eventually, Graham. G3 Victor Kilo Victor from the frequencies all yours. Do I have a test card? Yes, I have from PA3 Fox Bravo X-ray.
Make sure we're working. Had a lot of problems like everybody else today. Took me turn the echoes down so I can't hear myself. Here we are, that's better. Hopefully you can hear. Yeah, a lot of problems with the streaming. Greetings to everybody in all parts of the world at various times. Caught me out a bit today. I was just going to have my lunch and I realised this thing wasn't working. So it took me 3/4 of an hour to get it to work. So I was wondering whether I was going to actually make it, but I am here. Anyway, good signals from everybody. You're very strong, Gary. I know you got the wick turned up there, but you're up 9.8 with me. So maybe you could ease it off a little bit. Most people are pretty level on there at the moment. But anyway, good copy from you. I did see you testing earlier on. Yeah, terrible trouble getting the camera to stream in. I found I've been playing around on one system on 145.6 megs on with Simon's software. And let me get me back first if I can get the right. I think it's that one. Yep, that's it. I think hopefully the sound's in synchronization. Left the test card on for a bit long there, didn't I? Yeah, I've been playing around with Simon's software on 145.6. We had our annual review of the powers that be as to whether we can still use it. So we got 146 to 147 to use for TV. So hopefully they haven't taken it off us. They reissued the licenses for 1 year to next October. So just trying to get a few locals perhaps into the idea of it coming on the air. Especially now Simon's done his work on the software. So actually stuck a thing in the newsletter for our club with a picture of, where is it? It's there we are. Let's get rid of me if I can. If I don't crash this lot. There we are. Yeah, got Simon's software working on 145.6, which I think is generally available in most countries. But we can use up to 50 watts ERP. So we're just testing with an air spy on it for receive only. so you can carry the rig and receive SDR television while you're walking along, if there's anybody transmitting. So that's the signal on 146. And the, where are we? That's the test card. There we are. Test card put out. It's only transmitted from my rig in the shack to across the shack. I can run the full power on 50 watts ERP on 146.5. I think there's about, how many is there now? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 people locally now. Let's say locally, that's up to about 25, 30K. Let's go back. Hang on, not that way. Too many knobs on this thing. There we are. Get rid of me. Go back in a circle. So that's what I've been playing around at, and I actually left one of the Plutos attached to another PC I've got at the moment. I wonder why it wouldn't work. It didn't like the PC didn't like the Pluto and the mini tuner on there at the same time. And I was wondering why nothing was working. It was after I got the streaming going, the camera wouldn't log on at all. Anyway, I think we're working okay. Comments about everything. Nice bits of kit you've got there, Bert. See a 500 watt 77 amplifier. That would stir the televisions up in the locality here, I think. I also use, like Ed, Plutos. I think they're breeding actually in the shack for various frequencies. I've got an up and down on narrowband using a Pluto. I've also got a Pluto on 146 and 437 megs. And I've got the one I'm using at the moment, which is literally lying on the bench. Still never been put in a box. Just a Pluto and GPS, analog devices amplifier, attenuator, and a meter to measure the power going down to the PA, which is say 30 meters away virtually. So I hope it doesn't blow up. But if it does, I might see the smoke out the window, but I probably wouldn't know. I haven't got all this very clever monitoring that a lot of people have done the effort to do. So I can monitor the actual wattage going into the PA from up here, but not the actual power output. What else have I been doing? I've been on like Ed, going on the other band. It's a very nice antenna there. Hope nothing nests inside there. It looks a box like that was put out here. You'd have something living in it after a while, I think. Something would climb up and find it, but that's interesting seeing that with all 4 helicals on there. I did go on the microwave bands last weekend, I think it was. There was a competition on, and I bounced signals off the local towers, and somebody has very kindly cut a tree down which was in the way. So I tried all the contacts off these towers, which are 300 meters above me, and I worked 12 people, so right down to very south of England. So surprising how you can do off a tower. I've got a picture here of the if I can find it, as usual. All right. Where's the tower? There we are. When I think I remove me, I'm where it's my call sign on the top left there, just in the top corner by the G, on that little bump. And the tower, there's only 2 now. They've taken the one in the middle down, so I've got 2 towers. So you can see how high up they are. If I hit those with a reasonable amount of power, I think it's about 3K, 4K away, I can cover a main part of southern England that I can't cover because the hills in the way. So I've been doing that for a long time. I do it on 3 SEMs as well, and works very well. Work right the way down to southwest England, and right over into central England off the towers. Let's go back to the camera. Back to the shack. Right. What else have I got? So yeah, Pluto's everywhere here, and I'm wondering what I'm going to do with my laptop now on the 146.5. But I did try transmitting as well with a Pluto attached to the laptop, and you can just about do it. It struggles a bit, and of course you can't have any editing software on there. You can only do it with static, camera on it. I tried it with a camera that's in the lid. It's not very brilliant, and the microphone in the lid, and it works. So you can walk along with your rig and produce some RF. if you're careful and you don't trip over anything. Right, I better not keep it any longer. So I think it's Nick next. The comments I've got here. Oh, it's been raining here, as you've probably seen on the weather forecast. Okay, on your helicopter trip, that sounds interesting, Gary. Don't know how many K it is from you, but of course you're coming up to your spring down there, aren't you? I think I've got a big box of grapes from Brazil, I think, downstairs. So I always look to see where they come from. Peru, I think it was last time. This time it's Brazil, so it's moving around. I do the same with melons. See the melons in Brazil, and then you work your way across till you end up in Spain. Not that I have them that often. Right, okay, I better put it round to. Okay, about the RAID, yeah, I'm using that on 5 megs. I can work all of southern England on RAID with 5 watts on 5 megahertz on spot frequency we've got down there, mixed in with the military. Works very well with the high angle radiation. You can get some very good signals in. And it's no noise, of course, completely silent. And it reads right the way down to -3 signal to noise ratio. So you can read it when you can just about notice it on the waterfall. Well, if you know where to look for it. Right, G3VKV going back to, or not back to, but first time to Nick, G4 IMO. I'll put a test card on and cut carrier.
Cool. Come on. Bit more power, I think we need. There's a lot of stations on. Oh, that'll do. There's a lot of stations on the satellite this afternoon. Anyway, right. Good afternoon, everybody. Been a long time since I was last on. Yeah, I've got some audio anyway on my camera. Yeah, it's been quite a few weeks. I haven't been very well actually. When was that? About 2 weeks ago, I had the flu vaccine, and then last Monday, well, the problem is when I had the flu vaccine, the nurse said, "Oh, you're eligible for the shingles one as well," which I knew anyway. I wasn't too keen to have that. Anyway, I decided to have the shingles vaccine on Monday, and that wasn't very good. For 48 hours, I couldn't use my left arm at all. The pain was just unbelievable. And but the interesting thing is on the NHS website, it says when you have the shingles vaccine that there's a second vaccine that you need. And on there it says you have that 8 weeks after the first one, which I said to the nurse, and she says, "Oh no, you can have the second one in 6 months. 6 months time," she said. So that'll be May next year. So I don't know why I'm going to have that in 6 months when the NHS website says it should be 8 weeks. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But anyway, so. That's that. Anyway, I made a few notes there. Ed, yeah, that was interesting. That omnidirectional antenna there. I don't know if you said the frequency, but I must have missed it. But it looks like that's 24 SEMS, is it? Yeah, excellent. That's very good. What was I going to say? Oh, Graham. Yeah, interesting. That about those antenna masks, but if you aim some RF at them, you can use them as reflectors. There was a friend of mine when I lived down in Essex. A friend of mine, G3 OGX, John, who's sadly in an old people's home at the moment, but anyway, yeah, he was right on the, well, in between him and me, we were only probably about a mile and a half apart. We weren't very far away, but in the middle of us, there was a great big hill. And right on the top of the hill was one of these high voltage, he electricity pylons, you know, these 132,000 volt pylons, which made a very good reflector, and yeah, that worked well. Anyway, so what have I been doing? Well, not a lot. It hasn't. The weather's been pretty awful here. We had loads of rain last week, and in fact in Wales there's been floods, but it's turned relatively cold here. It's about 9 degrees at the moment, and grey. Had a bit of sun this morning, but nothing special. A couple of weeks ago there was a transmission from the Alexander alternator in Sweden on 17.2 kilohertz. Well, I had to listen for that using my new E-probe that's up in a tree at about 30 feet, 35 feet, something like that. Very disappointing. I could hear it very weakly. I could hear the Morse code, but it wasn't very good at all. So that wasn't very successful. What else have I been doing? Oh, to talk about Morse. It was 1979 that I went down to the radio station at Northforeland Radio to take the Morse test at 12 words a minute, and I managed to scrape through. But I haven't picked up a Morse key since, and that was 46 years ago. So I thought, well, I ought to try and improve my Morse skills. And I was trying this little Morse key, just a normal Morse key, which I found quite hard to use. I don't know, perhaps it's me. So I saw on eBay there was a little twin paddle Morse key. Can I show you that? Hang on. And I made a little practice oscillator as well. Hang on, if I go to this, my eagle eye. Yeah. So I put this little twin paddle key. Is it going to focus? Probably not. No, it's not going to focus. Anyway, so I managed to connect that up to this little practice oscillator which I made, and I've been practicing on that, trying to improve my my skills on HF. So, but the HF conditions are pretty hopeless this morning. I've been listening. I think we've had a couple of solar flares, but awful conditions on there. So there's not much CW on there at the moment. Right, what else is there? Yeah, okay, Graham, on your 146.5 transmissions, did I see 333 there? I didn't know you could use 333 on there, but that's interesting. I haven't got any antennas up for that. I haven't got any antennas up at all for 2 or 70, anything like that. Anyway, interesting. Right, I think that's enough waffle from me. So I'll just check on the list. I didn't see anybody on there when I looked last. Hang on, let me have a look here. No, there's nobody there. So I'll put it back to you, Gary. Right, okay, around to you. ZS6YI G4IMO.
Okay, let me just see what my power's like. I did reduce it. Okay, reduce it a little bit more, but it should be okay. Thanks for that one, Graham. I've just reinstalled old Uwan's program. He helped me with it, and the power was a little bit on the high side. And yeah, I noticed. Thanks for the info on the list. I just want to see if I still have audio on the list. I had changed it. I hope the audio's now okay on the list. It's not even the list showing. Hang on. That's nice and interesting. Let me quickly fix that up. Sorry, guys. Let me just pull the list up. Okay, I hope the audio's around while the list is on. And then we'll have sorted that out. No, yeah, it looks like it does. Okay, wonderful. Let's get the list away. Go back to that, and there we go. Anyway, firstly, I just want to say hi to Ishmael, DL2IE. He's watching on YouTube. And also hello to Ashley, GE8DPH. Very nice to have you guys on. Yeah, there was a bit of a mix-up right in the beginning. I lost link, so I had to restart the YouTube. But I see we've got 25 guys watching and 9 concurrent viewers, so that's excellent. Just a tip, guys. What I would suggest is you just like the video on YouTube and also follow it or subscribe or whatever they call it. And then next time we do have to suddenly restart, you'll automatically be taken there. It's a bit of a mess if you don't. I do normally put the link on, but now I had to change it and there wasn't enough time to do that. But anyway, now let's just have a look-see quickly. Yeah, why the hell didn't this camera come back? Let me just, sorry about that, fellas. There we go. You see, Murphy and lack of sleep. The two things don't work well when you're doing DATV, I can assure you. Anyway, such is life. Let me just see, there's a receiver. There we go. Okay. Right, Bert, excellent on your 2-meter amplifier there. And the amplifiers that you're building, fantastic. Yeah, good job and very professionally done. Well done again. And then Ed, yeah, that was lovely audio you had and music. Gee whiz, that's a nice track you had. I didn't quite catch the little the cartoon. I was trying to fiddle around here, so I missed it. But anyway, and excellent on the antenna there. And thanks for offering to help out next week running this. Let me just see what's going on. Just turn my YouTube channel down on the phone. And then, okay, that was a nice stall you had there, Benno. Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-ray. I just hope you made many sales and got more people interested in DATV. Now, why is my null packet so high? That's an interesting one. Right, then Graham, thanks for the power thing, and all noted on the 5 meg transmissions as well as 2-meter. We are allowed on 5 megs. I haven't been on much, you know. I was on HF for 10 minutes yesterday for the first time in a very, very long time, just to test. I run a beacon, the ZS6 Delta November beacon, on a host of frequencies, 14.1 megs, and it goes up on all the bands, including 28 megs, and then drops back to 14. And I had a problem with that last week, or the week before, with the beacon. Suddenly, I got to work after the weekend, and I saw, geez, this radio is red hot, because I have it at my salt mine. And it's just in a key-like position. Luckily, it wasn't transmitting. But I found that one transistor on the controller had popped, a little G MOSFET thing. So replaced that and got everything working again. Luckily, nothing happened to the transmitter. I've had to repair the ICOM 7200 in the past. So, but luckily it was a good repair. That nothing happened. It was just hot as hell. The power supply burnt out on top of it. So anyway, got that beacon running again and getting good results all over the world. And it's a CW beacon, and it just runs with GPS locked. So there's a whole bunch of beacons, and the one follows the other and the other and the other. So I can give if you're interested, I can give you guys the frequencies. I'll put it up next week on the list, or the week after next, and then you can maybe listen to the beacon from South Africa. But there's other beacons as well on the same frequencies, obviously. And then Nick, yeah, I'm sorry to hear you had the bad flu, and pleased to see you back. Well, I wish I knew about the shingles injection, or what do you call the thing that you could have taken, because I've had shingles about a month odd ago, and this time it landed up in the face. And even now I have trouble with my left eye. Most of it's gone, but it left some marks which will eventually grow out. But it hasn't been funny. My eye's still quite badly affected, my left eye. So if you look carefully, you can see it's red compared to the other one. But anyway, I do just put drops in, and I've had all the antibiotics. I've been to an eye specialist, and he said, look, luckily it hasn't touched the nerve, because if it does, you could actually go blind in the eye. So that part is lucky, but we don't know why it's always red. So it'll eventually probably work its way out. But I wouldn't have minded being inoculated against that, I can tell you. Right, I just want to see if we are lucky and maybe Simon's back. Perhaps Simon will come back, failing which, Bert, if you will take it, and then we'll make this the final round. G4ELI, possibly, and hopefully so. Failing which, to you, Bert, from ZS6 Yankee India.
Yeah, I don't think Simon is on. Okay, it's me back again. It's Pop Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Yeah, the last letter is difficult. Okay, everything copied fine. I had some complaint from someone in the neighborhood who's also watching what my power was dropping. I don't know, but yeah, it was my first transmission with a new setup, so it's possible that something happens with the power, but I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, the antenna looks heavy. Your 4 quarts antenna of, yeah, how do you call it? Is it a special name for it? I don't know, but it looks heavy anyway, the antenna. But yeah, if it works fine, yeah, it doesn't matter if it is not too heavy then. Let's see. Oh yeah, then about the antennas. Yeah, in 4 weeks' time there's the next contest. The next, yeah, the 4 weeks' time we have a contest, and yeah, maybe we can make some contact for some additional points. And nothing more to tell on this side. The sun is going down. It's going to be a little darker now. It's what's the local time? It's nearly 4 o'clock, and nowadays it's yeah, it's going to be dark very early in the afternoon. What Nick already said, we had also last week a lot of rain, especially Tuesday and Friday, with the whole day rain, and again rain. But my pond in the garden is now completely filled up with new water, so the fish are happy probably. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I will say everybody have a nice week. See you next time. And yeah, the system and to back again to South America. Ed, the system is yours. Papa Yankee 2, Radio Nancy from the group Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Bye bye.
Hey, Gary, here comes the cartoon again, so you can get a chance to look at it. Good. I had some problems copying Graham. Weather here is kind of, now it's opening. I get some few blue skies, but at the time Graham was transmitting, I got some clouds in front of the antenna, so I got bad reception. But I went to the YouTube streaming and I could see you there, Graham. Very interesting. Um, the site there. You mentioned about Plutos. There's something interesting about and Ben as well. Something interesting about Plutos is that you cannot find the original analog device Plutos anymore. At least at Mauser or DigiKey, they are out of stock for quite a long time now. So not sure if they still supplying Adam Plutos, the blue one anymore. I know there is on the Chinese site, but from like official vendors like DigiKey and Mauser, they are no longer available. Yeah. Bert, no, actually the antenna is quite lightweight. Look at this. I'm the king of helix. It's quite light because this is PCB. You see, as the reflector is made of PCB. I put this PCB on the top just to protect a little bit from rain. So since all the connections are here, SMA. The cables I didn't make it. I just purchased the cables, the pigtail already. This is LMR 240. Yeah, it's in male to SMA male. Um, um, this is not Teflon. This is Delrin polyacetal. Copper wire, and that's it. And that's the splitter here. Goes from 800 to 2.2. Nick, this is for 1.2 gigahertz, 23 centimeters. It worked fine. I mean, I was not expecting the result, to tell you through the guys. That's why I'm showing you, because it worked very well. Yeah. Anyways, can be like, if it didn't work, you can use like maybe a kind of weapon or something. All right then. What else? That's very nice. Gary, good audio, no problem. Bert also always good audio. Beno, I had also problems decoding you because of my poor reception. And Nick had some freezes as well. I'm not sure if that was Nick's transmission or my reception, because on the internet I also get some freezes there, Nick, but quick ones, not big deal. All right then. I wish you guys have a great upcoming week, and that's fine, Gary. For next Sunday, I'm gonna be here. If not, it's gonna be always autopilot. And that's been nice to see all of you, and Beno with the hump hair there, and your bench was very nice. And Graham, all those sites, and the experiments very nice as well. And Bert, of course, you're always making good assemblies. Very nice. Congratulations. So pass back to Beno, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-ray, saying goodbye, and 7312 from Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November.
Up it a little bit. That's about what I can give you today. At. Yeah, and one thing if you show that nice antenna. At the local repeater, I had originally a slot antenna for 23 centimeters, which is really big. I don't have the space for it, so I had to think about something else. And I created in the end this antenna. Let's get it a little bit closer. You can recognize a double quad antenna, and actually this was the first antenna I made, and I just connected with a semi-rigid with a 402 cable. I connected with the right length directly to the coax cable. So I had four pieces of cables. Unfortunately, I don't have any cable. I did prepare. I made it a little bit more waterproof just by eating some salad. Salads were coming in these kind of plastic covers, and I put it some over. This is the prototype of the current antenna, and the current antenna has four active amplifiers in there, and a nice combiner of the four channels from well, and everything nicely with the right plugs and things like that. And in the end, it did exactly the same as this one, because it amplifies nicely signal, but also the noise. So on the bench, I could read 10 dB gain, but in the field setup, the signals are more or less the same. I only made it even better. Sorry, I should have done this. Let's try it again. Okay. Well, anyway, this is the demo of the first one, and I put one of those bags covers on top of it. But you get the idea. At least it's very sturdy. It works, and the current setup. This is metal mesh, and it is quite heavy, but it's like 5 kilos or something. That's not a big problem, especially on this antenna, because this is the current setup, and on this pole next to it there is the slot antenna for 13 centimeters. So it's but this is on top of the local repeater on 23 cents, the receiver antenna, and the current one is exactly the same, but the covers are a little bit better, and again it has 4 amplifiers and a proper combiner in there, but it gave me no gain whatsoever, despite those amplifiers do 15 dB or something, but it's also the noise being improved. Yeah, well, that's about that. But this is the current the QO-100, and actually this is pretty round, I would say. The opening here is about 100 degrees, so 90 degrees, 100 degrees easily opening of those antennas. So if you count 4 of them together, yeah, it's pretty good. I would say it's sturdy and it works always. I couldn't find any problem despite being a homebrew antenna. Okay, that's all. 73s. Let's see if I can come back. 73s all. Um, by the way, the sills, it didn't even cover my gas. Um, but we had very nice and good conversations, and I think that is the main thing. Um, it is the most important part always to have. Let's see, ups. Let's see. If I can show you what was the biggest sale I had. Yeah, it's there. Let's go back to the other picture, the other screen. That was the biggest sale I had. I think that that one was completely filled when we started, and it was almost empty when we got home. So that is the most important. And for those who don't know what that is, and I'm making the same mistake again. We are talking about this. This is the biggest sale, and this is especially for this time of year. We have Santa Claus time. He arrived here in the Netherlands from Spain last weekend, and famous his Zwarte Pieten, his helpers are handing out this kind of candy to all the kids who are good, who have been good, and so these kind of things we have at this time of year, and yeah, that one was empty almost at the end of the day. So yeah, I had a good day. That's something I can conclude. From PA 3 Fox Bravo X-ray, passing it on to you, Graham. 73 is all. Have a good week.
Right. You have 7 dB on the on my signal back. I can make it a bit more. 7.5. Just turn the audio down, get rid of that. Need to do something to do that automatically, not to have to turn it down all the time. Right, back to me now, hopefully. There we are. Different backdrop. Right, a lot of things mentioned. Well, I've just switched the background in. It is not as dark as it is on the screen. That's a picture, but that just shows you the transverter setup on the one side of the room for all the microwave bands. So very high power, some of it, 200 watt, 50 watt, and 60 watt sort of level, most of it on various bands. So I've got a Perseus, I've got a K3 in the middle which drives it all, and a Perseus attached to the K3 so I can see everything. And there's a box just above my head there. There's a box with a little red light on with about 6 positions on. If you turn that round, everything goes from one band to the other. So you can go on one band, just turn it one position, and you're on another one. Don't think it makes provision for listening on one and transmitting on the other, though, thinking about it. That doesn't very often happen. Anyway, all interesting from everybody. Lucky about, well, not okay, but your shingles there, Gary. Yeah, I had that, what was it, 12, 14 years ago. Started on my back and went right around on my left side and right around to the front. Didn't go near my face, fortunately, but I did get up to the local out of hours, and he said, well, yeah, get some pills down here because as soon as the spots come, you've got to have these great big, I know what they were, 600 milligram pills. So I had to drive out to the chemist in the dark, and fortunately I found the place. and get a big box of pills and start taking them. But yeah, about a week before, I don't know whether you did, I thought I had flu. It was terrible until the spots came out, and then I knew what it was then, and so it was about 9 o'clock at night, I think I went up to this after hours in the local hospital to get these pills, and sorted it. Fortunately, it didn't have any long-term after effects. Yeah, the masks, yeah, they're very, I've been using them for years, Nick. It's 3 SEMs mostly. I used to work 3 KU in Swindon with 200 milliwatts from the landing here through the window up to the mast, and then turn 90 degrees and go to Swindon, which is about, I don't know, 45k away, I suppose. So used to do that with 150k off those masts, running watts of RF on 3 centimeters. On the other bands, I was using on the 9 SEMs last weekend. I worked down to Andover, which is I don't know how many k away it is off the mast, but I was running 50 watts. Your little bicord looks good there. Somebody else was using one of those around here, and not in a square like that, but they tried 2 and then 4 and phased it all up. It seemed to work quite well. Tell you what does carve the signals up. I think I can see some in the distance there. I think it was, yeah, some wind, well, not windmills, some wind farms in the background. When I was looking at it, it was Benno, wasn't it? So you showed that antenna. Let's see 2 or 3 wind. A lot of those around here now, and they cause absolute chaos on 3 SEMs. Somebody up in the northeast of England has got a barrier of them between him and the south, and you can actually hear the things going round. And he gets Doppler off them and goodness knows what. So they're not very clever. Must muck up the radar quite considerably, I should imagine, if there's any operating in the area, and no one's offshore. Interesting to know about the Pluto. At one stage they had 800 or 900 available, over 1,000. But I think probably they're winding it down now. From probably the sales have dropped off, and all of the costs of moving things around. They are made in China, actually. If you look at the board, it says made in China, but obviously made to analog devices specs. But a lot of people are using those Libra ones and the Pluto pluses and various other things. I've only ever worked one person with a 905. They're very, very expensive over here. So let me go back to my shack in the background. That's better. But I don't think there's many people who actually got them in the UK. There was at the beginning, there was a few people demonstrating the things using TV, but of course it's analog TV, isn't it? It's not digital. So they're really not sort of kitted out for what we're actually using at the moment in the country. But got some sound coming through here from somewhere. Let's see if I can get rid of it, because it's I think it's off the monitor one here. Let me too many things with this system, isn't there? That's better. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's gone. Well, it will drop in a minute. Right. What else have I got on there? Okay, on the time machine, yes. Interesting one, that. It certainly twigs it when you look at it, doesn't it? But I can think of instances that are similar to that. I won't make any comments, because they're probably somebody will think I'm being a bit sort of facetious or something. But I got down on here. I think that's it. I think so. Cheers to everybody. Thanks for the contacts, and all good signals. And yes, I expect you are getting a fairly weak signal down there, a fairly low angle, isn't it, down there in Brazil? So you need everything you can get, and RF always out and signal back in again. My signals have all come up since I realigned everything. I'm getting a beacon now at 10.5. So I've got another dB in a bit, and there's another tree come down. I'll probably get another half beat. Surprising how you've got to keep tweaking things. So cheers to everybody. I'll hopefully, well, I'll see you next week. No, I'm away for a while. Eventually, not next week, but so Gary's definitely away. So we'll see you when we see you. Try and get on a bit more and keep the rig going. G3VKV back round to Nick for his final. Graham in Cheltenham going back to a test card. Different one this time. And here we go.
Yeah, okay, Graham. Make sure I've got some audio on here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, turn that down there. Yeah, all very interesting. Yeah, all very interesting. Thanks for that. Very interesting net. I'm going to go QRT now. I think there isn't much light in my shack at the moment. It's looks like it's going to rain in a minute. So anyway, I'll say cheerio to everybody, and I'll see you all next time, I think. Put it round to Gary. ZS6YI G4IMO is off and clear, and
Okay, Nick. Just up the power a little bit for Ed's sake. Firstly, Ed, thank you very much. That was a very good one. Imagine if you could move into the future and look back and then make decisions. Go back. That chap's decision was a firm no. No, that was good. Thanks for showing me that again. That was wonderful. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming up today. It's wonderful. And we look forward to the next time. If we are early enough, that's fine. I just don't know what the weather's going to do. And, you know, with a helicopter like today, we've had rain. Like you can't believe it. Came down in buckets through the night. It's cleared up a little bit now, fortunately. But nice and wet. Although where we're going, it's about 300, just over 320 kilometers as the crow flies, really, from where we are here. And that's why I decided to take the helicopter instead of driving, because otherwise you sit for hours on the roads, and our roads aren't that good anymore. We've got a lot of potholes. And I was told by the FAA that we're not allowed to fly next Saturday and Sunday because of the G20 or something in Johannesburg, and they've basically got a 40-kilometer as a ban on flying or private aircraft. Anyway, I'll just to help them. I couldn't care. We'll land at my house like I normally do, and that's that. These people must think they're important. But anyway, we're about 50, as the road goes, about 56, 57 kilometers south of Johannesburg. So we're just on the fringe. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't concern me one bloody bit. I'll get my chopper where I want to go, when I want to go. I'm not going to cause issues, and I'm flying in the opposite direction to where they are. Anyway, such is life, eh? So with that, I'm going to close the net. Wish everybody on frequency a very happy week, and we see each other next time. This is ZS6YI operating the DATV net, saying 7-3 and signing clear.